Hello and welcome to this week's streaming. The question for this week is, what are a few ways to get in touch with our imagination? And even though I don't know who's asking this question, I want to say that there is a very good chance that you already are in touch with your imagination. If you worry, you are in touch with your imagination. If you get sad about things that have happened or are about to happen, you probably are good at your imagination and you're in connection, completely in contact with your imagination. If you dream, you know how to imagine. If you ever ask yourself, what if, you're good with imagination. The real question is, and I'm not being facetious, I'm just saying that really is already happening. Except that imagination, the anxious, sad imagination, is an imagination that is done without your participation. And what I want to encourage you, and it's funny that I always talk about imagination, I'm actually planning to teach a course on that, and that is to really become a participant, an active person. I call it intentional imagination, meaning those imagination that I was talking about are imagination of a frightened mind, are imagination that take place when we are on autopilot, when we just go to the worst case scenarios, not knowingly. But when we become aware of this huge power that we have within ourselves, the power of imagination, then we start working with it and using it in a different way. So I want you to become an intentional Imagineer, if you like, because we are all Imagineer. We can engineer imagination, so we are Imagineers. So the question is, how do I do that? And I think one of the ways that you can do that is to start with very, very small sort of occasions and start imagining what would be the best case scenario, or what would be your ideal scenario, or what would be even the pleasant scenario that you can imagine. And when you do that, it's just like a movie. So you first have just an idea about a movie. And then you create scenes of the movie. And if you're producing it, then you really get into the details of it. You know the sensations, you know the setup, you know the physicality, you know how it looks like, how it feels like, how it sounds like. So you add pieces of sensations, all 5 areas of your senses to it, so that you can actually take it into a deeper place with it. And it's all matter of practice. You practice intentional imagination and start small, start in areas that do not matter. Don't go with the very, very challenging or very, very important places, because it's a practice that you get better at it as you start practicing it. So say you're going to a meeting, say you have a sort of something, representation of some sort that is not that important, and you ask yourself, how do I want it to go? What are the things that I want to experience? And you start imagineering it, and you start giving it some details, and then you go further and you really apply this practice and whatever experiences you may have in sort of more important and more crucial aspects of your life. Hope this is helpful, and keep your questions coming. Hope you stay well and curious.